Hello there! Do you ever watch YouTube videos just to get a glimpse of someone who's a little bit more insane than yourself? Well, watch the following video, like or subscribe, and peace. Hello there, my name is Billy Juliana. I'm 49 years old and I have a 40-year history of dealing with anorexia nervosa, and I'm currently following the recovery methods espoused by Tabitha Farrar, Kayla Rose Katecki, and Elisa Orris. And today's video is probably just going to be a little bit of a ramble because I wasn't actually planning on filming today. I was planning on sitting at home and watching Netflix and just eating all day. And I was planning on doing that very same thing yesterday as well. However, a couple of things happened and I decided to film instead. First of all, one is yesterday, the weather in Nashville where I live was just glorious. It was absolutely beautiful. It was just fantabulous weather. And so I hadn't planned, like I said, on filming. I was just gonna sit and eat. But I did have an errand to run, and I just grabbed my camera as I did that and drove over to the park, took my camera to the corner where I filmed my first YouTube video of all time 6 months ago, and I just filmed a little bit in the park. And I'm going to insert some of that footage, and I have to warn you that the footage is not that well done. In fact, it's awful. I couldn't see from the monitor on my camera because the sun was so bright where I was vis-a-vis the frame, and so my head is really low, but I'm gonna leave it the way it is because the sky is so blue in the background that it's so pretty. And I haven't even watched the footage all the way through. I just rambled right through it. And but I do know that I was talking about feeling very, very vulnerable and very frightened. And I have made so many videos that I have not uploaded to YouTube that are all in the same vein since I've been eating unrestrictedly again, coming out of quasi-recovery. I have made so many videos, like I've said, because I've been so frightened, and it's almost like a little diary or documentation of how I've been feeling. But this one I think I'm going to upload. So I want to attach the footage that I filmed yesterday, and then I'm going to also talk now. So let me talk now. Okay, so what I wanted to say was it all amounts to feeling very vulnerable as an adult as we go through anorexia recovery, especially those of us who are older who have had the disease for decades. Because really recovery takes a lot of care and support. And a viewer who is very wise and knowledgeable, all my viewers, by the way, are smarter than me. So you guys tell me, you leave in the comments, you tell me where I'm going wrong, and you tell me what you like or what you don't like, but you guys are too smart. I can't keep up with you. But it's true. However, one of the smart viewers said that we actually really need to parent ourselves as we go through recovery. This is true. I'm finding my feelings about the level of a 2-year-old, and it's often thought of in psychology in general that, people who develop eating disorders, their emotional growth stops about the time that they develop the eating disorder. That probably is somewhat accurate, although I would say that my emotional growth started probably years before the eating disorder actually manifested, because there was just so much going on. There was so much overwhelming information coming into me as even a young kid, and being highly sensitive, I was just, ripe for developing an eating disorder, but also ripe for having no emotional growth. And so as I find myself here, a full-grown adult going through anorexia recovery, I just have like tantrums. I have a lot of weepy episodes, a lot of this going on. I know a lot of younger people have this as well, but those of us who are older find it kind of difficult to have all these childish or childlike reactions because people around us are going, "What's wrong with you? You have duties and responsibilities. Please go take care of them and quit weeping," And actually my coaches would be like, "You quit whining, you quit weeping, you go do you, which is be in recovery, please, and be a badass." And I'm like, okay, and I'll be bad and I'll be an ass, but I don't know if I can be badass. That's how I feel. I just feel like I'm like, So, and I feel like other people around me are kind of like, just, it's inexpressible. I can't find words for it. So, Yes, it's a vulnerable place to be in. And I just want, I know, by the way, that all my videos recently have talked about feeling fearful, but that's where I am. You know, as we go through recovery, every bit of it is fearful, but especially as the weight goes into a zone that we're just not sure of, it gets extra fearful. But I have told other viewers, and I've told my family and friends, I want to see this thing through. I want to eat my way to recovery. And so one thing I want to say that has been frightening me recently is my presence on YouTube. Not that way, but maybe that way. My presence on YouTube may be frightening indeed. But for people who are going through recovery, I do worry that my continued growth, that is gaining weight, will scare other people, you know, that it will trigger other people. You know, you might be watching me now going, I get this, I understand this, but then as you see me put on further weight, you'll be like, ooh, triggered, you know, kind of triggered and go, I don't want to end up like that. That's scary to me, and I need to turn this off because that's not going to happen to me. And I just want to say that my body's probably going to go through lots of evolution as I do the final stages of feeding it to full mental and physical satiety. And so there are going to be a lot of changes. And I've already got edema to share with you. If any of y'all need edema, I will gladly give you some of mine. But yeah, the puffiness, and then of course the weight gain, but there's going to be a lot of weight shifts and changes. I know many people have made YouTube videos about their weight redistribution and all that stuff. But yeah, my body's just going through a funky phase right now, and it does weird things as it kind of works itself out. But the ultimate goal is for it to work itself out. So I just don't want to scare anyone with my body changes or with actually maybe looking frightening on YouTube. Because this is part of the process, is that we go through a very awkward stage, but it does mean that our feelings are very vulnerable. We feel very awkward, and while we're supposed to be badasses about it and just get on with it, the feelings still creep up and they still get in there. And so I just want to give you all support to take care of yourselves as if you were children, as if you are very vulnerable children. And I understand the feeling of just wanting to go weep in a corner because it's all so overwhelming. That's kind of like being a little kid in the world left alone. And because we're having to parent ourselves, that is probably an appropriate response as we go through this. So I give all my support that I can give, but I know that when you're alone in your house and you turn the videos off, or you're going to bed, or you're eating your next big snack or whatever, the feelings of fear and all that are still there. So just remember me if you can, if I haven't frightened you already. All right, so now I want to go ahead and insert the clip of what I shot yesterday outside, because at least it shows a pretty background. I have been so consigned to this bedroom that I feel very boring these days, and I've been rambling a lot too, but that's probably because I'm overexcited about the whole recovery thing, and I'm also very nervous about it, if you can't tell. But I'm going to go ahead and show, and basically I think what I said yesterday is exactly what I just said now, so just enjoy. Okay, check in a minute, bye. Hello there. It just happened to be a really pretty day here in Nashville, and I just had to come out. It has been really inclement weather lately in my hometown, and I've been confined to doing videos in my bedroom. So today is just actually gorgeous, and it's a holiday, so I decided I would come out and just plant my camera where I first planted it for my first YouTube video, which was about 6 months ago. And I wanted to make just a short video, just sort of as another insurance video. I've made many kinds of videos along these lines that are insurance videos, saying just how scared I am. And while I know that the whole idea is to pretend that fear isn't there and to embody just a different person who doesn't give a crap about how they look or how they even move through society, I am finding myself still so consumed with fear to the point that I feel very depressed sometimes. And so I just like to make videos as sort of a diary to kind of encapsulate what I'm feeling. And I know that there's a lot of traffic noise going on around me, and I know that the way that I'm speaking isn't very polished. It usually isn't very polished, but at this point, I don't have a script or anything. I just wanted to come on camera and ad lib because I just have that feeling of vulnerability. And I know a lot of us go through this. We all feel vulnerable as we go through recovery. So many people without eating disorders feel vulnerable at times in their lives. But I've been one of those people growing up who has just never had the confidence and the swagger to kind of bulldoze my way through. And I could easily have done that, and I just never did. And I find myself constantly shaken by fear or gripped by fear to the point that I don't move. And I get tired very easily as well. And I don't know whether that is a consequence of having had anorexia for all these years, or whether there's a part of me that is just so ultra sensitive that things get overwhelming and I get very tired very easily. And I'm sorry the sun is in my eyes and all the traffic is zooming around me. It's hard to hear, and I realize that, but I just feel like a person who doesn't operate well in the world. Does anyone relate to that? And as much as I have felt some sort of purpose in doing YouTube, I realize that my channel is like squat compared to all the other channels that are out there. And I realize that a lot of people just feel the same way I do, and I don't have all the answers as well. That's the other thing, is I don't have the confidence and the swagger of course, like the experts that are out there that are like, I did it, I made it, and this is how you do it, and I can help you. I'm like, I'm still struggling. I can help you a bit because I have gotten further in my anorexia recovery than I've ever gotten, but I'm just struggling with life. You know, I've gotten a little bit more involved in life with the strides that I've made through getting over anorexia, and now I'm struggling with life a bit on top of the anorexia. So we've got a little bit of a difficult situation. So here I am in my corner of the monument where I filmed several videos along with the first one that I ever shot, which I didn't even put through an editing program. I just uploaded it to YouTube and let it sit there, and there it sat without any views for the longest time. But anyway, I just wanted to pop on camera on a beautiful day in February and just say, yeah, I feel vulnerable, and I don't know whether I'll ever use this footage, but it's so nice that I wanted to get out. I've been in the confines of my bedroom as a studio for the last 2 months or so, and that's gotten a little old, I'm sure, and I've tried to pep it up a little bit, but it does get a little old. Now, of course, once you come outside, you have all the things like looking old. The lights in my bedroom kind of help with that. And also the traffic noises and stuff, and all the sound effects that you can possibly imagine in my audio circumference. So anyway, again, this is just a ramble about feeling vulnerable, going through anorexia recovery, but I do worry about all of the anorexic stuff, and then I worry about life itself, like where am I going? How am I going to live? You know, I don't have any money, you know, so how am I going to live in the coming years if I make it to the coming years? And so that's the place I find myself in right now. If any of you relate, just let me know in the comments. If I even post this video. But I do really appreciate everyone who has watched my videos. I can't believe that there are some who have watched them, and I've had some absolutely loyal followers. I can't believe that I actually picked up a few loyal followers, not because of you, but because of me. I'm like, really? A lot of hard work has been put into this project. Sorry about the plane, but they're my friends. Airplanes are my friends, so are cars, and leaf blowers and lawn mowers and trucks. Yeah, and you guys are my friends as well. And so I, have put a lot of work into this project. It does take work to do YouTube. You would think it's really easy just to pick up a camera and go around. But because I don't have that scintillating personality that can just say things that are really cute off the cuff, I have to put a little preparation into my videos, and so you can see that I'm not that scintillating right now except for the sun reflecting off my forehead. So let me calm your eyes down and turn off the camera now, and I'll catch you next time. But I did want to just come out and have some outdoor footage for you so that you can see that it is nice at some point during the winter. And also just to have a little bit of variety and break up the old look of my bedroom, which my bedroom's nice, by the way. It's fine. It's just kind of dark in there. So it's nice to get out into the light. And I hope that's a metaphor for the rest of my life, that it's a life that has a lot of light involved, both figuratively and literally. So anyway, let's pass on now to the next thing, and thank you for watching. Peace.
Before you leave, there's something you should know. Yeah.
Okay, I thought I would pop on camera just really quickly yet again while I'm in this gorgeous day, and stop whining and complaining like I just did, because something did cross my mind as I was driving over to this park, and that was secret vices. Now, I'm not talking about major secrets, so you don't have to divulge anything major inside in the comments. I'm not talking about that. The things that you actually like, that you're kind of embarrassed to admit. For me, one of the admissions that I'm going to go ahead and make on camera is that I secretly like Bob Seger, the musician. Yes, a lot of his music is nauseating. I cannot stand Night Moves, and I cannot stand the Tom Cruise song. What's that Risky Business song? Let's take those old records off the shelf. That one's nauseating to me too. But I like so much else of his music, and I used to go around going, "Oh, he's so awful." Blah. But you know what? I'll go on YouTube and I'll pull up Fire Lake. And people are going to at me for bringing up Fire Lake, but I like Bob Seger's Fire Lake. I also like Against the Wind. So there's several Bobs. He has a ton of hits. So why not like Bob Seger and just admit it? Even though a couple of his songs, or about 50 of his songs, are barfy, I like a lot of his other songs. Okay, so just admit anything like that you want to.
Just take those old records off the shelf.
Okay, thank you for watching that extra long ramble that was outside. I know I'm basically just repeating myself with that, and I'm basically whining, and a lot of you are probably looking for some empowerment, and I'm just going to say that I'm giving you the empowerment by saying that we're all feeling kind of wonky through this period, wonky enough to call guilty pleasures vices. I couldn't even think of the word. I don't know whether that is dementia setting in or whether it is so much anxiety from anorexia recovery. But anyway, and the other weird thing that came up was Bob Seger. Why was that the first guilty pleasure that came to mind? Well, it was actually a vice, a secret vice. I would consider it more of a vice to admit that I like Bob Seger on camera and forget the song title, Old Time Rock and Roll, as well. So leave in the comments, do you think it's dementia, or do you think that I'm having a lot of anxiety because of anorexia recovery? I don't know. But I do want to empower all of us, because we are all feeling this way. We're all feeling a tad nuts, and yet it's okay. It is okay. We are going to get to a place where we are liberated. And part of me, you can kind of see, a part of me has a little bit of kids' excitement about it. Like, I look forward to this. I'm scared as hell. And I really don't like the weight gain piece, no. But I'm not going to engage in the fears as much as I can, at least. I'm going to try my best to pretend they're not there. As my coach said in an email to me, which I featured in an earlier YouTube video, it's a skill we have to develop. And for those of us who are older, it takes a little extra time to develop the skill of not engaging with negativity about our bodies or about anything. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to work on all of this, but I am excited about getting to a place where I can actually be liberated from this disease. So that's something to look forward to. I also want to just say that at the outset of this video, I said that I was going to just chill and rest and eat and not get my camera out. but yesterday was so beautiful I had to get the camera out because I was running an errand anyway. I want to say that that does not mean that yesterday's video was a substitute for eating, because a lot of times, as I've said before in another video, we take our work or our activity and we use that as an excuse not to eat. In some ways, for me, like psychologically, I read it as like feeding, because it's like a busy activity. So I'm nourishing myself with business. That's weird. So what I said earlier about, taking the camera out instead of eating, I didn't really mean it as a substitute. I came home from filming that and I chilled and I relaxed, and I thought I'd had my moment outside, and it was a lovely day, yes, but then I spent the rest of the day inside basically watching Netflix, Bravo TV, and that's a US thing, I guess, but it's a lot of reality shows, and basically those reality shows include a lot of drama, and I'm sucked into the drama because I certainly would like to escape the drama that's going on here. So as an aside, that's what I did. I was watching that. And when I turn the camera off now, I'm going to go do the very same thing, because that is my job. And I want to also mention that as encouragement for you, is that our jobs look a little strange these days. The very hard work that we are doing is basically chilling and eating. And to others, that may not look like hard work. Believe me, it is the hardest work I have ever done in my entire life. So I've got a lot of work to do, so I'm gonna go do it. I need to turn the camera off. So eat unrestrictedly, rest for a prolonged period, take care, and until next time, peace.